All right, good afternoon, everyone. Again, I want to lift Jesus' name up high and to God continue to be the glory for another opportunity to go out and demonstrate our love to God on the field and off the football field. Positive about this last ball game. I think I want to first start off with our crowd. Thank them. Largest crowd ever here at Williams Stadium was fantastic. It was thrilling, exciting, and definitely had a tremendous impact on our football game and giving us a positive edge. Other positive thing is obviously beating a team in the top 10 in the country here at Williams Stadium was huge for our university. More importantly, also for our football program. Also, just talking about we played 5 true freshmen, played 16 redshirt freshmen. A lot of those guys there have been playing quite a bit. I should say 13 redshirt freshmen have done a great job of getting some reps. Each and every game has only been obviously 3 games, but I think it's been very important that our young guys are getting some reps, and they've been vital in the success that we've had so far. A little bit more specific things in the game, the first 4 drives defensively did not allow a score. 3 out of the first 4 drives offensively, we scored 17 points. And I think that was a big plus in the game. 8 out of the 16 possessions, I should say, we had 16 possessions that the Montana had. 8 out of the 16, 50% were 3 and outs. That's huge. That's a tremendous way to get some things done. So it says our defense played well. 3 out of the 6 times in the red zone, our defense held them out, did not score any points. I think that was a tremendous impact in the game. We had 2 receivers over 100 yards. That's a great thing to happen in any ball game, to have 2 receivers over 100 yards. Then we had 0 turnovers in the last 2 ball games. No turnovers from the offensive perspective. And so those were, I can go on, but those are really some positive things that happened in this last ball game that we're going to take for this next ball game and the rest of the season. Southern Illinois, as I've kind of told our team, don't even look at the record. When you watch the tape, you're going to see that they're a good football team. Dale Lennon, we're on the American Football Coaches Association Board of Trustees together. So I've known him here for the last couple of years, 3 years, as far as we've been on the committee together. So I know he is an excellent man, excellent coach. He's won a national championship from the Division II level at University of North Dakota. He's a very consistent winner, has won over 150 ball games as a head football coach. He knows what he's doing. He's a defensive-minded coach and definitely is involved with those things. And then obviously the next person really to talk about is very exciting quarterback Mark Ionati. Excuse me if I pronounce your name wrong. But there's just some interesting stats that you cannot ignore. These numbers are off the chart. This is All-American national numbers. 1,000 yards in 2 football games that he has done. 1,000 yards in 2 football games. I mean, you hear those kind of numbers, it just shakes your head. This guy can play. So 75% of Southern Illinois' offense, it comes from him. When I say 1,000 yards, I mean, it kind of tells it like it is. But that's an amazing number that he has going on. So he's a good football player, a senior, knows what he's doing, and he runs the ball. He throws the ball. Their offense averages 564 yards a game. So they know what they're doing on offense, and so they've done a good job. 55% that they have converted on 3rd down conversions. So I can go on and on, but we're going to switch it over and go to the defensive side. But the defense is solid. They got solid talent on the defensive side of the ball. I'm very pleased with what they look like and how they go about. They're definitely sound, and so we're going to have to do a great job on that. So they do a little bit of everything. They base out of a 3-4 front, but they do play some 4 down. And they mix their coverages up, so they do a lot of multiple things. There's nothing to report on the injury side of things. Everything's all good to go there. The keys to the game, as I kind of mentioned earlier, and it comes to the end of this, is saying that we need to play well early in the first 2 series on offense, the first 2 series on defense, the first 2 series on special teams. I think that's going to be very important that we come out and play well. I'm not saying we got to score a lot of points or any of those type of things. But we got to play well early on to make sure that we're able to have some success. Minimize Ionati, the quarterback. And again, I can't sit here and give you all these numbers or stats, what we got to hold him to or whatever, but I know we can't let him allow to have 500 yards per game in this game. Otherwise, it's going to be a long day and night for us. In a sense, kind of limit explosive plays. 1 out of every 20 plays. That's what I'm going to set forth that we try to get accomplished here. Again, they're going to make some plays here and there, but if in a sense, if they run in 80 plays, we should only give up 4 explosive plays, so on and so forth. Offensively, we need to average about 4 yards a carry. We haven't done a very good job overall in 3 games. We played some good football teams, but I'd like to see a little bit more consistency of being able to run the football. We got to eliminate the sacks. Some of that goes into that part of it when you watch the games and the numbers on rushing yards. Sacks do include that. So we got to eliminate sacks, and then we got to knock people off the football. So let's open up to some questions.
Coach, first of all, congratulations on the win. And it's a 2-part question. Number 1, have you ever been in a situation as a player or coach playing 4 straight road games? And number 2, how do you handle that with your team?
No, I have not been involved as a player or as a coach involved in 4 road games. We're going to do it like we always do. It's game by game for us. So, the schedule aspect of it, you have to always look at it game by game. If you look at it more than that, then we're in trouble as coaches and as players. So, I have not changed from what I've been as a coach, as an assistant player, as a player, as an assistant coach, and as a coach. You take it game by game, and then if you do that, then you're going to be ready to play your best football game and coach your best football game.
Defensively, with Ionetti running the read option, how important is it going to be with this defensive scheme to really play assignment football and not allow him to break containment and also be cognizant of the receivers behind you so that way you don't have any big plays?
Well, I think it's nothing drastic that we have to change. Just everybody got to do their assignment. Everybody has a assignment to do. They have a job to do, and they got to do their assignment and job well. If we do that, then I think we're gonna be in good shape. We got to tackle well. He's a big. Again, it's hard to know for sure, but they say he's 6'2", 220-something pounds, so he's a thick guy. We got to tackle well. They got all different types of backs, small, quick, fast guys. They got some big backs too, so they got a good mixture of different things. They got a big tight end, 6'7" and 60 pounds. They got good speed receivers. So I think if everybody plays soundly and play physical, then I think we're in pretty good shape.
You said last night on your radio show that you guys were working on correcting the problems with the block punts, the 2 of them. What have you done in terms of seeing what you need to do on film to correct those, and also getting the running game going and not allowing Josh to be under pressure like he was against Montana?
Well, I'll start going back to the running game part of it is, I think our be better at the point of attack. I think everybody, center, guards, tackles, tight ends, fullbacks, receivers, we need to be better as far as being physical. We are physical. We're just not executing it for the most part at the point of attack. I think that has to be corrected. We're going to work on that pretty much all week and trying to get the running game. We're going to work on our passing game too. There's some things that have to be taken care of there. The special teams part of it, as far as the punting side of it all, we just had a lack of communication. We had a lack of focus. So it was more about we just didn't do our job. So it's not necessarily that they had a great scheme, a little bit of a scheme, but it was really just our guys lost their focus and just didn't do their technique like they were told to be done, and they just didn't do their assignment. I mean, there was a case or two where we didn't block anybody. When you don't block anybody, there's negative things going to occur. So I think we just got to go back, and I think obviously guys have seen it, and they'll get that rectified, and we'll be in good shape as we move forward.
Coach, was the 4 straight road games, was that just a fluke on the schedule, and what extra challenges does that present to you guys as a coaching staff?
Again, I guess, scheduling is always tough. It is what it is. I'm not going to – it's no use of trying to figure out why and change it. It is what it is at this point. We're going to coach and teach our guys up game by game, and we'll be ready to play.
5 sacks for
Josh last week? Was that more Montana and what they did, or were there some things that you guys could improve on?
Oh, I think a little bit of both. I got to give them some credit. Particularly number 91 is a good football player. But also that goes back to the same thing about technique, lack of focus on some of our guys. So we got to do better, but I also got to give credit to good football players. Good football players are going to make plays every once in a while, but I don't think it should have been the magnitude of 5 sacks. Some of it was also Josh. Josh should have got rid of the ball there a couple times. Some of the receivers, they didn't run their routes to the correct depth, and so that made him hold on a little bit. So it's a combination of everybody, and so we had a very good football game, but there was a lot of stuff on there that we need to get corrected.
As you said Saturday night that you guys proved you belong with the win, but also not to take it any more than just one game. That was a win against a very good team, and that you need to build on from that. What do you take from the game, and how are you preparing these guys to not have a letdown after such an emotional win over a top 10 team?
Well, the good thing about young people, as in 18 to 22 years old, things kind of go through them pretty quick, and they'll move on to the next phase and what's going on from that aspect of it. And then we just talk about what I show them on tape. I can show them on tape a lot of things that we need to get corrected. So, we did some good things, and we also did some things that could have cost us the game. And you can't continue to play like that. So we always talk about getting better every week. So it's easy for this game from a standpoint of there was a lot of stuff on offense, defense, and special teams that was not quite very good. I mean, some of that was not good. So when we show them on tape, they understand it, they know it, and they understand the expectation. And so I think our guys are excited to play. They always get excited to play another solid, good opponent playing on the road, their first home game. So there'll be enough energy there to get our guys ready to play.
From what you've seen on tape from the Southern Illinois quarterback, how has he been able to pile up the incredible numbers that you talk about? And I guess your defense is maybe extremely excited to try and slow him down this week.
Well, yeah, we've they put a little up tempo and do all those things. We've faced that already all year long. We just got now maybe a little bit more of a threat of a runner as far as at the quarterback position that we had. West Virginia guy had the ability to run, but they got more design runs in their schemes. And so it's going to cause our deal to be a little bit more efficient with our D-line, not having big gaps when he takes off running. And just like anything, it's always assignment football. So I think we just got to get after him. We got to play physical, and our people got to make sure that they run through their keys that our coaches give them. And if they do that, then we should be able to handle him. But, again, he's a talented guy. He's going to make some yards. I'm not going to sit here and say we're going to shut him out. But we got to definitely minimize from him to have explosive plays throwing the football and explosive plays running the football.
Defense is top 10 against the run, top 10 in sacks, top 10 in TFLs. What's led to that?
Well, I give the glory to God, number one. Number two, I think our coaching staff has done a great job of recruiting. Our players have done a great job of listening and taking the coaching, the techniques that our coaches are teaching them how to be able to have success. And our guys have played hard. Our guys get after it. We've been able to rotate quite a few guys there on the defensive side of the ball. I think D-line, linebackers, secondary. So I think that helps, too, when we feel like we have depth. We can play more guys, and they can play fast. They don't have to think about that, I'm going to play 70 snaps, and maybe I need to rest on a couple of plays, and they end up taking a play off, not necessarily taking a play off, but they may not go quite as hard on a play, and therefore it may cost us. They don't have to worry about that. You play as hard as you can, and if for some reason there you get a little fatigue, yeah, let us know. We'll get you out. We'll get the next guy in, and our guys is not a whole lot of difference between a starter and a backup guy. So I think as we moving along now, we didn't play 3 football games, and I think every guy now, the game's starting to slow down a little bit. It's like I mentioned earlier about the freshmen, true freshmen, and also the redshirt freshmen who hadn't played a whole lot, but they're now ready to play some good football.
With regards to third down conversion offensively, first and second down, what do you need to do those first 2 downs to help your third down percentage?
Well, I think it goes back to that aspect of getting 4 yards on first down, whether we're throw the ball or whether we're running the football. We can average somewhere around 4 yards on every first down Now you're moving your chain. You can make every call in the playbook technically when you got a 2nd and 6 call. You may run it, you may throw it. You can do a whole lot of different things when you're in that aspect of it. So I think that's important if we can average 4 yards on every situation on first down. So that's huge. That's huge.
I feel like you guys came out a little more aggressive than normal just in the passing game this past Saturday. Was that more by design to go with them?
Every game you look at a team and you see some things that maybe you have an advantage. Part of that was we said we wanted to attack their safeties as we went into the game, and we wanted to do it early and throughout the whole game. So sometimes it works out pretty well for you, and sometimes it doesn't. But I thought the play calling was pretty good, and we attacked where we wanted to attack it, and we took advantage of the opportunity. So great execution. I mean, like I said, you can draw up a lot of every play is a great play, but can your players go out and execute it? So I thought, Shales went out and executed very, very well, and obviously Woodrum did too, and the rest of our whole football team on offense to do what they had to do, and defensively being aggressive too. So I think we were aggressive on both sides of the ball.
Coach, when you're able to get Zach Parker 10 targets, Dante Shell's 5 targets, and Darren only had, I believe, 4 targets, what does that do in terms of evolving the passing game and making it a bit more explosive, so now defenses aren't shading more toward Darren to try to slow him down and get these other guys involved and give them some confidence, so that way as the season progresses the whole group can be utilized?
Well, you hit it right on there. Obviously, when we have an opportunity to be able to get the ball to several different receivers, now the defensive people got to decide what they want to do. There's going to be good opportunities. We're going to go where their open receivers are. Obviously, we believe in Darren Peterson being able to get him the ball. We're going to do that too. And then we move him all around. So he's in all different spots, and we feel great about Zach. Feel great about our receiving core overall, with B.J. Farrow, and we'll get the ball there to him more too. That'd probably be a game where he may get 6 to 7 catches as far as that goes. So it is great for our offense to be able to have multiple guys who can make plays and then make it very tough on our opponents.
I like the way that your team kind of delivered the kill shot there with the Abner run at the end to put the game away.
You saying how we came about with that?
Big for you guys as far as coming up with.
Yeah, that was good to have a particular run play. I thought it was excellent to hit it. It was a great call. I think we had the call every once in a while during the game, but we kind of have a pass play with it. So there's a certain look that he has. He can give the ball to the back, or he can maybe throw the ball. So in this case here, he decided to hand the ball off, and great blocking on the left side there, Burgess and Summer. So again, it was a great job by DJ hitting it and not pausing, not hesitating, and doing it. So we call him in a great offensive play versus their defensive scheme that they had, and we hit it in the right spot.
Speaking of options, did Damian have the option to run if Dante was not?
Yeah, if he's covered. Yes. So he actually is a pretty good passer, as we have seen in practice and stuff of that nature. And got to have the guts to have a freshman come in. He hadn't really played a whole lot. And, it was his first play of the game. We put him in there, and he executed. So that's why you use that word execution all the time. We can draw up all kind of great plays, but draw up plays that your players can execute.
Piggyback off that, is Damian a guy that you figure you can get him involved more in the offense? It's tough when you got everyone out there going for 100 yards, but it's a guy.
But we're not afraid to play him. When the opportunity presents itself right now, technically he's behind Zach Parker as far as in that position. But there's other exploration that we're doing to see if there's other places where he can get on the football field. So, and it may be more in the return game. So he's a good football player, has good speed, and we're just bringing him along that we feel that he can have some success. So there'll probably be more opportunities to hear about Damian King in other ways.
Do you make it a point to tell your team, we've got to put Montana behind now and just worry about this next game, or do you even bring that up?
Don't bring it up. We're all talking about Southern Illinois. That's all we're going to focus on. Montana's gone. I don't even have to state that or verbalize that to our players. It's all about Southern Illinois, and we're moving forward, and they're ready to go.
Stephen Masha got in on a few plays. He was, I guess, designed for Wildcat, designed to maybe give a pass element, possibly to change them up. Is there ways that you're trying to integrate him more into the offense to give the defenses some different looks?
Oh, we look at our whole repertoire as far as talent, what we have, and then the defensive scheme. How do we utilize our personnel? How do we utilize the scheme? And it's a game by game. We can have him in the game this week. We're still putting that all together, but we always have him ready to go. And he's a good football player, and he was advantageous for us. The few plays that he played, it's something to set up for that game, but it's also setting us up for the future too.
Just going back to the Montana game, great victory for our team. I thought so far that was our most complete game as a team. I thought we played really good in the first half, starting fast and kind of stalled between the second and the third quarter. So we're definitely going to have to work on that. But each year I've been here, we've had a problem that we've had to work through. My first year we weren't able to finish in the fourth quarter. Last year was more the first quarter. So now, we need to play a little better in the second and third quarters. But overall, I thought we played a great game, great for our team. Great for us to get some more acknowledgement as far as the big polls go and stuff. So great win. And then going on to Southern Illinois, good team from the Missouri Valley Conference. So they're going to be a lot like Indiana State was last year for us. We're going to have to definitely come out and play a solid game. Last year I think Indiana State kind of got us in a sleeper game. We just come off a big win. Didn't really think we'd get a good game with them. Thought we'd just go in there and, kind of do whatever we wanted. And they schemed us well and ended up beating us. So we're definitely going to have to focus up this week and understand that, each game is a different game. And, I think we will this year. We're a different team. We have, different leadership this year. So I think we'll have them ready to go this week.
5 sacks is not what you're used to this past weekend. I know the win probably had to make you feel a little bit better, though. How you feeling today?
I feel good. Feel fine. That's why I'm back there. Big enough to be able to take those hits and still be able to play the next week. So it's all right. Offensive line, we got some things to work out on as far as protection and stuff go. But, I think we'll be fine going into this week.
Coach was in here earlier saying that that running game needs to get about 4 yards carry, especially on first down, to make second and third down more manageable. That situation being second, third, and long, and Montana knowing it's going to be a passing situation, kind of play into their hands by being able to get to you and create a little bit more pressure than you'd seen in the first 2 games.
Yeah, definitely. Not doing well on first and second down puts us in obvious pass situations, especially if we don't do anything on second down, then we're third and long. So their D-line can just, put their ears back and tee off on us. So that definitely helps us, be a more productive offense if we can do better on first and second down. And we're definitely going to have to do that this week.
Josh, first of all, congratulations on the victory. And just your thoughts and feelings. This is the first of 4 straight road games. I mean, sure you saw that at the beginning of the season, but just your thoughts and feelings about this 4-game road stretch.
Personally, I'm excited because I think it's going to test our team really well. And, for me, that's what I want us to have this year. We want to be tested, but also be able to come out with victories and at the same time. So we're able to get away from here for a little while and go and just focus on our team, not worry about, everything that's going on as far as in Lynchburg and stuff. We can just go, play our game on Saturday, get back, watch the film, and then, get ready for the next game. So personally, I'm excited for it. I'm excited to see how our team steps up. I think our leadership is going to be big these next 4 weeks as far as being on the road, getting everyone ready. And this is the closest team I've been a part of since I've been here. So, being on road games, you want to have a close-knit team just to be able to move through problems or whatever it may be.
You mentioned Indiana State earlier. Does this game feel a little bit like that one in some ways, going into it?
Yes and no. Obviously, they're from the Missouri Valley, and sort of in the same situation. I think Indiana State was 1-2 when we played them last year, and this team's 0-2. So they're a good football team. Obviously, Indiana State was a good football team last year, even though they started 1-2. So we're definitely not going to go in there and breeze over them. We're going to have to, play a solid game and execute really well on first and second down, like I said earlier. And then on third down, we're going to have to make. Personally, I'm going to have to make some good throws, and we're going to have to execute good in the run game. So the big thing for us is just, getting first downs and, getting a lot of knockdowns in this game, and then obviously scoring touchdowns.
From what you've seen on them on tape defensively, what special challenges might this team present you?
To be honest, they don't have any, standout really, All-American type players, but they're a solid group. They play really well together. So that's a big thing for us is we're going to have to execute really well as a team. You know, we're not just going to have 9 people doing the right assignment and 2 of us doing the wrong assignment because, you know, they're a solid defense and all their guys are going to be doing the right assignment at the right time. So personally, we're just going to have to go out there and just, you know, execute at a really high rate and get our team grade up a lot higher. I think we finished out at about 79%. We want to be up towards the 90s when the game is over.
Following up to the question I asked you earlier, Coach Gill wants you guys at 45% third down conversions. You're 34% for the year, 3 of 16 against Montana. What aspects are you guys looking to improve on in order to make sure you get higher conversion rate on third down and sustain drives longer and keep your defense off the field, especially against Salukis offense that is very potent?
That's just being good on first, second down. You know, being 3rd and 12, you have a lot less chance of, you know, converting it than 3rd and 1. So, like I said earlier, first and second down is going to be big for us, especially going into the rest of the season. We need to be better on 3rd down, and I think that starts with first and second down.
Josh, you mentioned earlier about moving up in the polls to top 10. Highest Liberty's been ranked since 1990. How do you deal with those increased expectations personally and as a team, being a team leader and captain?
You know, I think our team, we're not buying into that, but we're glad that it's happening because we're seeing finally, you know, these past 4 years, you know, finally being recognized as a solid team. You know, last year we were a solid team, but we didn't really get recognized as far as the polls go. You know, we ended up sneaking into the playoffs with the Big South automatic bid, and then, you know, we went toe-to-toe with Villanova, who was ranked number 5. So, you know, we knew we were a good team all season, and to finally get some recognition this season feels good. But to be honest, we're not really looking too much into it. We just want to win every football game.
You feel like you guys have moved past the Montana game, and everyone wants to talk about potential of a letdown this week. I mean, is that something you're worried about at all?
No, not at all. I think our leadership is great this year, and we're going to have our guys ready to move past that game. And personally, I think you know, I have already moved past it. I'm ready to get on to the next game because, you know, like I said earlier, every guy on this team just wants to win the football game. We're not worried about, you know, what we're ranked or, you know, what's going to happen at the end of the season. We've done a really good job of just buying into the process and understanding that, you know, if we win every game from here on, we'll be 10-1, and if we lose every game from here on, we'll be 2-8 or 2-9. So it's not something that we're looking into too much, and we've definitely moved past the Montana game.
DJ said after the Montana game that you guys still view yourselves as underdogs in most every game moving forward, that you guys aren't really given anything because, like you said before, you haven't been recognized until now. How much do you guys carry that chip on your shoulder of, you know, going in as underdogs, knowing that you guys are still looking for the respect you guys feel you deserve?
I would contribute that a lot to, you know, our strength coach, Bill Gillespie. He tries to make everything in the summer and in the spring competitive to where, you know, I wouldn't say we're looking at it as much of an underdog role, more as a competitive role. You know, we want to go out there and compete at the highest level possible that we can do. And like I said, I got to contribute a lot of that to Gillespie for getting us ready, having a great offseason, and getting our minds right more than anything. Obviously, the strength and conditioning, you know, works a lot of your muscles and stuff, but mentally being prepared for a season is just as important as being physically prepared. And I think that's the biggest thing for us is we're so competitive this year. We're not worried about being an underdog or anything. We just want to go out there and compete at the highest level.
I'm not sure how much you pay attention to it or not, but it did come out today that Southern Illinois is favored by 4.5 points. So kind of a similar question about the underdog role. You know, seeing that they're winless, not ranked, Liberty's coming off a top 10 win over Montana as ranked number 10. Do you take that as, you know, kind of a shot at Liberty and kind of use it as motivation moving forward?
No, that's just, you know, experts' opinions on, you know, what they think is going to happen. You never know. If you looked at what was going to happen in this game, you probably saw Montana was going to beat us, and we ended up winning. So we don't really look too much into that sort of thing. We're going to go out there and play our game. And like I said, we just want to compete every play and every game at the highest level.
What do you think of the game plan going into Montana? I mean, as a quarterback, you had to like that, the way you guys came out aggressive.
Definitely. You know, I thought these first 3 games we've had a great game plan. You know, our offensive staff has done a great job, you know, putting together game plans going into the games and, you know, really getting us prepared. Even with the West Virginia, you know, we got a couple practices cut short due to the weather, but still I felt extremely prepared, and I love the game plan going in. Obviously, you know, we had some plays in that game that we didn't execute at the level we know we can, but the game plans have been solid, and you know, I'm really looking forward to this week's too.
As a leader on this team, do you have to tell the younger players not to get a big head, coming off a win over a top 10 team? Do you kind of have to bring them back down to earth and say, that's one game, let's play the rest of the year now?
Yeah, I think there's a little bit of that always goes into any team. But like I said earlier, our team's been so good about just wanting to compete. We don't get caught up in, we just beat a top 10 team. We're ranked number 10. We can beat anyone now. We're more concerned with, go out there and do your job and just compete as best you can. And, Coach Gill's done a great job of recruiting these past couple of years and getting guys in here that are competitors, not just good football players that just want to be here for 4 years and leave, but he's done a great job of getting guys that want to compete at the highest level. And redshirting really isn't an option for a lot of these guys anymore, because as soon as they get here, they want to be on the field. They're not just content with sitting on the sideline. So I think that contributes a lot to Coach Gill's coaching staff and himself, and just doing a great job of getting some competitors here.
You spoke the entire season about how talented this wide receiving core is. Saturday was the first time someone other than Darren Peterson had 10 or more targets. Zach had 10 targets, career high 106 yards. What about getting those guys involved and seeing those guys mature and excel has you looking forward to the season where it's more evenly across the board, where defense starts slanted toward Darren, try to stop him, that you guys have more go-to guys and you can get the offense going a little bit better?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, going into the season, we knew we had probably the most talent we've had at that position since I've been here. So it's good to have three quality guys that can really stretch the field, whether it's Dante and Petey on the outside, or Zach Parker down the middle, and then B.J. Farrow can take the top off of defenses too. So it's great to have those targets out there, and makes my job a lot easier. I just got to give them the ball when they run the right route or whatever they need to do. So it definitely helps our offense expand, and people can't double cover Petey, or you're leaving Zach Parker or Dante Shells or B.J. Farrow one-on-one anymore. So defenses are probably going to have to start playing some more base coverage and just good defense instead of just doubling Petey and taking him out of the game plan, because like you guys saw on Saturday, Petey, I think he had 4 catches or something like that, and then Zach Parker and Dante both had 100 yards. So I'm excited to see what these guys do this season. Going into this season, I thought they could all have 1,000 yards receiving, and they all have great speed, good hands. So it's going to be a fun year for us.
I know it's a little early to talk personal accolades, but Conference Player of the Week, you run for 8,000 yards in your career, second player in school history, third in Big South history to do that. I know before the year you said you wanted to be Conference Player of the Year. That was a personal goal. You feel like you're on your way to doing that and also having the kind of career that you envision having?
First off, I thought Dante Shells should have won the Big South Player of the Week this week on offense. He had a great game. I think he had 3 catches for 111 and 2 touchdowns. That's just absurd from a wide receiver standpoint. So I appreciate getting that award, but Dante definitely should have won it. But I think I'm doing a pretty good job. I set good goals going into this season, and the biggest thing for me is just setting them and attaining them. And I don't really get caught up mid-season into that sort of stuff, because I'm just trying to win every football game. I'm not too concerned with. I didn't even know about the 8,000 yard thing. That's neat, but I don't look into that sort of thing. I'm here to win football games, and if I end up breaking records or winning some awards, that's good too. But the main thing is just to win some football games.